The following podcast is a B&E Network exclusive.
Better this time. Welcome to a new episode of 2 vs. 3. I'm Kyle. This is Cody.
Hey everybody.
And Greg.
Yo.
This is episode 9.
Yeah.
We made it. Further and further every week, and I'm always surprised.
Yeah. It's fun though. Gotta keep it going. Heard B&E's getting some new shows, so that'll be fun to check out.
Yeah, for sure.
Didn't they? So they just did a live show?
Yeah, they did their live stream. They've done one of them now. Yeah. As of the time of this recording, anyway.
See, we might as well do that because we haven't yet edited anything.
Well, we
Other
edited
than
for
fuck
sound,
ups.
but yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I guess it's like, I don't know how hard it is to like, or what the quality is like listening to live shit. Like Facebook does those live now, like, you know, you get a notification someone's live now, and you try to watch it and it's really kind of shitty.
Facebook does it? I've
Oh,
never
yeah.
seen that.
Like if you follow somebody, like it'll come up like, oh, this guy's doing, like for me I get it all the time with like Stephen Amell, Green Arrow. So like, he's doing a live and he's just talking on his phone, I'm assuming. You know, and I mean the quality for that's pretty shitty. But I mean, to do a podcast, they probably got it. Like, I mean, you can do it sound right.
And I mean, do it live.
I don't see why not, right? I mean, anybody who's listening live, that's great, but you can still listen to it later.
Yeah, it's something we could definitely maybe try out in the future.
Yeah,
We'll see how theirs goes.
We don't even have a camera, so how we? I guess live, just audio.
Oh yeah, are they doing video?
I think so. Yeah.
We could try a video someday. People, well, I like keeping the mystery, you know.
Yeah, I know.
We haven't even shown photos of
You
it.
don't know how
we're good
ugly
looking.
we are.
We're good looking. Kyle does not suffer from any like facial deformities.
Yeah, none that you can hear anyway. So what have you guys been up to this week? New shit?
No, I don't know. It's been kind of mostly just back to the working grind, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been writing or anything. Last night, I had a really fucking weird night. I ended up going to the bar and meeting some fake British guy and hanging out with him.
You went with the intention of meeting a fake British
no,
guy? Or
I just ran into him, and we ended up going smoking pot, and he showed me all his guitars at like 4 in the morning.
That sounds like a weird night.
Yeah.
What the
Yeah,
fuck?
like describe.
Yeah.
How did he ask you to go to his house?
Oh, we were just talking, and I was like, I don't have any beer, and he's like, well, I don't have any pot. And I was like, well, you want to hang out for a bit after this? It was last call. And I'm lucky I didn't get murdered or something.
Yeah, you live a different life than me, man. That's something I would never do.
He was probably like 45 years old.
Oh, okay. Well, that's even weirder.
Yeah.
No, but what was your description? You were like some sort of John Lennon.
Yeah,
type
he looked
character.
like a scruffy, ugly John Lennon. And he sounded like him too, but he said he wasn't from the UK. He said he was from British Columbia.
More of a
In my head, I'm just imagining like a George Carlin looking guy with like a ponytail.
No, he looked like John Lennon.
I know why. He was like scruffy looking, so it's like.
Did he have the glasses?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like the Lennon glasses?
Yeah.
That's all you need to look like Lennon. A British accent in those glasses gets you a long way in that look.
So yeah, I'm just lucky I didn't get murdered last night, but it was pretty fun. He's not a right guy. Showed me a bunch of like shows that like he's like, man, you're gonna love this. Check this out. He put on the Ricky Gervais show. I was like, man, Carl Pilkington's like my favorite comedian of all time.
That's really funny, random.
Like,
Yeah, that's-
yes.
Are you sure this happened and you were just like hallucinating in an alley somewhere?
I don't know. That'd be pretty depressing. It was cold last night, so.
Do people hallucinate from the cold?
Probably if they have hypothermia.
But yeah, we got watching the Ricky Gervais show, and I totally forgot how that's pretty much just a podcast put on HBO.
Well, yeah, like he did a podcast. Like,
Yeah, no, but like you don't think of podcasts being on TV. That's a talk show.
Yeah, I
But
guess.
they really treat it like that. And what's some of your guys' favorite podcasts?
Oh, well, hands down, Joe Rogan is my man.
Yeah.
He's like my life coach.
Joe Rogan said the first one well, that's not even true. I got into Joe Rogan after a while, and I don't listen to it that much anymore. But the Smodcast stuff like Kevin Smith. Those are the first ones I listened to. Now I listen to a bunch of random video game ones like Giant Bombcast and Kind of Funny. Those guys.
Yeah, lately I've been listening to all the B&E Network shows, and it's pretty much just that, and I listen to Tell 'em Steve Dave, which is one of the Smodcast shows.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're...
Well, man, I want to talk about Kevin Smith, but I want to go back because there was still more with your story. Talk about any of the good parts that you told me, like...
I don't remember what I said to you last night.
Yeah, okay, man. So I woke up this morning at like 4:30 in the morning, and he's awake, just on the couch, kind of like doing his thing, telling me this shit. I ate like some bad beef yesterday, and I was sick like all day. I woke up early.
Bad beef, eh?
Yeah.
I will do it.
Won't name drop where, but it was a raw burger. But anyway, I was up early, and
that
Cody...
sounds like a restaurant. I won't name drop where, but it was that raw burger.
Oh no, like I ate a raw burger from a restaurant, but I like the restaurant, but whatever. Cody's sitting on the couch at fucking 4:30 in the morning. I wake up and I'm like, fuck it, I'm up now. Come out here and he starts telling me this story. And I'm like, I feel like I was sleeping. And I'm like, I'm dreaming this story because it couldn't have happened. It's too surreal. And then, yeah, you're saying like the guy fucking was going on about flat earth. But what was the other one?
Oh, yeah. He was going off about all these conspiracies about how the Holocaust didn't happen.
Oh, you were with the real keeper then.
And yeah, he was telling me about these Eisenhower death camps and flat Earth. He was like trying to tell me all about flat Earth. I was like, man, I know. He's like, but the curve. I was like, I know.
You know, like,
how did the night? Tell me how did the night come to an end? Like, how did you?
I don't know.
They discovered the Earth was really flat.
Yeah, couple cans of harp, and we rolled a couple joints. I played a song for him. He had all these beautiful guitars, and I expected him to actually be a really good musician. And then he started playing, and he was so bad. I just kind of nodded my head, and I was cool with it. And I was just like, I don't know, I'm fucking hungry. I'm going to go get a sub and go home. And he's like, well, peace,
he didn't like tell you how you had subs in the basement?
No.
Yeah.
No, he was cool.
Would you go back?
Lipstick or anything?
I didn't have to wear a dress.
Would you go back?
Yeah.
You go hang out with this guy again?
Yeah, his name was Dan.
Dan, man.
Alright, shout out Dan.
The funny thing is, I recorded the entire night on my phone.
Oh, yeah?
Yes,
So that's a supplementary podcast one day of Cody's weird night with Dan.
Maybe, well, I don't know, man. There's too many of those. Maybe we can make like a montage of all of, like, because Cody's got a bunch of them.
Yeah, I like to record people. I told him I was recording him, though, and he was fine with it.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't tell him till like halfway through the night.
Oh, that's so shady.
You just like endorsed his like fucking conspiracy theory. Like, oh, I meant this. He'll be his version of the story is you worked for the government.
Yeah.
That you were spying on him, and he was like trying to get you close. Keep your enemies close.
We make podcasts for the NSA.
Hey man, that's one more viewer.
Yeah. All right, Greg, you do anything crazy?
No, just working. Just working like a dog.
Well, tomorrow is your first actual.
Can't be good.
This happened last time.
No, I think we're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We might have to cut this part out if it tests and hopefully records and works. Do you want to pause and see if this actually works? Because this is what it did when we lost the last one.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna take a break and we'll come right back. Sorry, folks.
So anyway, there I was, balls deep in this fucking story.
Balls deep again. Good guy.
Any technical difficulties are just going to come back to some balls deepness.
Alright, where were we? I was asking you what you didn't do anything interesting this week.
Oh no, I did. I told a great story and it got cut out. So you know, that sucks.
I was about to say tomorrow is your first fucking day off, and how long?
Too long. I don't like to brag.
It's not really, well,
yeah, no,
actually,
whatever.
how long? Probably like.
Yeah, right. Like, I don't know. I'm working 2 jobs, and 3 with the podcast, 4 with just being a general baller, but 2 full-time jobs.
I'm gonna start accepting this 3 now. We got general baller, the podcast.
Just throw that on the resume. You know?
But yeah, no, I've been working like full-time, like 7 days a week for at least a couple of weeks now. But I got tomorrow off. It's the holiday. Tomorrow's Good Friday. Thank Jesus I get tomorrow off.
Happy Zombie Jesus Day.
Yeah, happy Zombie Jesus Day to you guys. And to all of our listeners.
And we celebrate by being general zombies because I'm going to get a little drunk tonight.
Look forward to that, guys.
Because of the holiday, though. Because of the holiday.
Because of the holiday.
We don't normally drink.
Ever. No. Not like any of these podcasts start with us opening beers.
Well, yeah, speaking of drinking, we've got some plans for some videos we've been talking about doing. Hopefully, we'll start them in the near future. It's the movie challenge, movie review challenge.
Cineholic challenge, I think.
Yeah, we got a few different names for it, but basically we're going to be reviewing the amount of movies that are in series in that amount of minutes with that amount of drinks. And it should be fun. We're talking about doing Star Wars, Fast and Furious with Kyle.
See, like those ones, just like 7 shots, 7 minutes, 7 movies. I don't know. I think it'll be good. Cody's gonna try to go up. Kyle and I are gonna go Star Wars and Fast and the Furious.
I want to one up you though with Quentin Tarantino. 8.
Yeah,
see, I was thinking with 8 though. After he would do that, if that's like if we're talking about it like we're gonna become athletes. After I do fucking 7 Star Wars movies, bro, I'm gonna fucking push it up to 8 Harry Potter movies.
How many Harry Potter movies are there?
Well, I think there's 7, and then the last one was 2.
Okay,
2 movies. Yeah, you can do 8.
No, I don't know them. Well
and then
enough.
when like
one of you guys could.
When the play comes out on book, maybe I'll wait for the movie to get made of that, and then I'll do 9 Harry Potter.
When the play comes out on book and they make a movie of that.
What
that was some fucking nonsense.
No, there's like a new Harry Potter fucking play coming out. And
so you're waiting for the book version of the play and the movie version of that book. Do you think that's going to be the cycle?
Yeah.
You do, probably. Psychopath. Jesus Christ.
And also, and then they're also doing, because there was a couple of side books that came out.
You're thinking of the new movies and the new book,
Mythical Beasts.
And where to find them.
And where to find them, and I think Hugh Jackman's going to be in that. Fuck it, I'll throw that in there too. By the time we're done, I'll do like 11 Harry Potter movies.
And you'll be passed on the floor in a puddle of your own puke.
Yeah.
Ectoplasm, I think. It's that universe, right?
No, like what's the shit that comes out of year 1 to make the Patronomus or whatever?
The Patronomus? That sounds like a spell about patronizing someone.
I want to make them feel small and valuable. Patronomus.
That's right. You cast a lot of Patronomus, Craig.
Man, if it's the word I'm thinking of, I still take it as a compliment.
Patronus is the spell.
Oh my god, you're gonna ridicule me and it's just like you know the answer the whole time?
Of course I did.
Maybe you're gonna be doing the fucking 11 fucking Harry Potter movies.
That's easy. I don't have to rewatch those. Fuck.
You know what's crazy is before the podcast we listened to Daft Punk. What was it like? One more time.
Yeah, sing some more for the podcast. Yeah. More of that.
But when I was reading,
get a YouTube strike.
No, but it's fun, like that's like what I think of, like for Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets. For some reason, I was like really into Daft Punk at the time. I was like, I don't even know how old I was.
Like fucking 10 when that shit came out.
You relate those two together?
I know,
Daft
right?
Punk and Harry Potter.
Yeah, I know. I'm like sitting in my room reading. Like I'm listening to one. Like in my head, when I hear one more time, like I can hear like the Kyle the basilisk, the snake.
Yeah, basilisk
creeping through the hollow walls, which don't make any sense. They're like made out of stone.
It's magic, Greg. The whole thing's magic. They have a room that appears out of nowhere whenever you need it.
I get all right, but anyway,
snakes.
But Daft Punk, yeah, I'm thinking it one more time. Snakes in the walls. It's weird.
Yeah, that was really weird.
All right. Fuck.
Your go.
How do you even lead into a goddamn topic after that?
Snakes in the walls, Daft Punk.
Oh my god. Alright, I guess I'll start. So this week, I've been playing, I guess it was all this week, playing a few different video games. But I like you guys, or Cody, you had played one of them with The Last of Us. I was replaying that pretty recently.
Which, is that with Ellen Page?
It's the one with the girl that looks like Ellen Page.
Technically.
It's not Ellen Page.
No, but that clarifies. I do know what you're talking about now.
And then I just got The Division, which is like, I don't know. Anyway, the tie-in what I want to talk about is they're both based in an apocalyptic, like post-apocalyptic time. Like, you know, in Last of Us, it's the cordyceps and it turns everybody into zombie-like creatures. And in The Division, it's like everyone in New York dies in this Black Friday virus where there's this thing that's on all the money and they kills them on Black Friday.
I didn't play the game. I didn't know what you're talking about. I wasn't sure if that was like a slip of the tongue.
No. It's
Black Friday.
Black Friday. No, and anyway, my question is what's your favorite apocalypse?
My favorite apocalypse?
What do you mean
favorite?
like, okay, so the world's gonna end, and it's gonna end by some way. Like, whether it's movies or books or television or even in real life, the one you want. Do you want, like, the comet out of the sky and just kills us all and there's, like, a few people? Do you want the virus that wipes out a bunch of people? Terminator style? You want robots coming in and wiping shit out?
Well, I mean, if there's going to be
or do you want, like, zombies?
You want a fighting chance.
Ghosts? Or you want a Ghostbusters apocalypse, maybe? I don't know. Anything. What's the one that's your favorite, and then also the one if it had to happen in real life? Like,
so, like, I don't know, the one that's most entertaining is, like, probably, like, volcanoes everywhere.
So, like, the movie
Lava.
Volcano?
Yeah.
It's suddenly like, volcano!
In downtown Kingston, a volcano just erupts.
That's the most entertaining.
Yeah, lava's cool. Lava's badass.
I won't disagree with lava being badass.
Man, suffocating? I feel like, yeah, okay,
It's hot, yeah.
You fall into a volcano and it's like, you're always like, oh, I'll burn to death. It's like, you probably suffocate and like...
I just like volcano movies.
I get that. I get the
Dante's
low.
Peak.
There's like a weird obsession kids have of, like, everyone played, like, Floor is Lava. When you were a kid, right?
Yeah,
like,
we still play that at work. Like, you had a muddy field and you're just like tossing out little pieces of wood. And you're just like, can't touch the ground. That shit's lava. And you're fucking everybody, like grown men.
And what one of the jobs is this? Is this the I'm a baller job? Or is this this isn't the podcast, I can tell you that.
Like I said, I got multiple jobs. I fucking trucking through mud is one of them.
Well, I don't know, for one that I think that I could have some control over, fucking zombie apocalypse.
Zombies, you think
No,
you
see,
do
that's
all right?
scary, man. Cause, like, one of my biggest fears is like mob mentality.
And people touching you.
Yeah, but I mean, like, zombies break out, and all of a sudden the rest of the world turns into savages. Like, I don't even know that I could trust the two of you. You fucking
Yeah,
you burning my comic collection just to be warm.
Yeah, we would. I would.
No,
man,
Cody,
I just, like,
Cody's over there, or Kyle's over there thinking like trying to figure out which one of us he could talk into eating the other one of us.
Yeah,
that's twisted.
For survival, man.
We all gotta eat.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like an apocalypse where I think I'd have the upper hand.
Well, obviously none of them. You can't assume
Yeah.
you're like, unless the apocalypse is I'm a smart ass and killed everybody, like, then no, I don't have the upper hand. But it's just like, there's something that you think you could do all right, maybe.
Floods.
Floods, really?
Skip
I guess
road.
because we
I
live
could live on
in Canada, we'd be mostly all right anyway.
Man, like what was the road? What was the reason for the apocalypse?
They never really
They
talk
don't
about
explain about it.
No.
No.
Yeah.
They
See, that's kind of I just see how the future is. It's just like one
It
day,
just
like,
happens.
yeah, like I'm not even gonna. You're not gonna. There's not gonna be like a specific trigger event. Just 10 years from now, we're all gonna be wearing dusters and goggles.
The duster apocalypse.
It's
Fashion apocalypse.
yeah, that's it.
It's gonna be hot outside.
Fashion apocalypse.
Water is gonna be a commodity. I mean, it'll be a huge thing. Like almost like a Mad Max type
Just
scenario.
like we just naturally turn into
No,
that.
it's the hipster apocalypse. Water becomes like drinking microbrew. It's really popular. Dusters are all the rage.
Yeah, like some sort of way between like
people aren't procreating because everyone looks stupid.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my biggest fear. Is like some
The
sort of
hipster apocalypse.
like the hipster steampunk apocalypse.
That's
Or like, I would be down with all electricity and shit just going straight out the window.
so like just power. It's gone
Yeah.
for some reason. Whatever, we can't make power anymore.
Yeah, I could live in that world.
Yeah, then you just like Canada.
We would just go down and like do our podcast and after the town crier.
We just do it near a campfire. It's
Yeah.
it's like, everyone else shut up. Only 3 of us can talk.
Do you want to hear about my day? No, I want to hear about their day.
Yeah, that's a world I could definitely live. That's not really an apocalypse, but that would change things drastically.
Well, that's still like it's like we run out of energy. Would basically be like that kind of thing, right? Where
I can still read books, but
you can still read books. Yeah. Do you think that changes in any of the other apocalypses? One of the apocalypses, there are no books. Why would that be the first thing you're fucking worried about? Jesus Christ.
Oh man, you know what'd be a good one? Waterworld. Yeah.
No, that sounds. That's like the flooding one. I don't want
Yeah,
that.
I don't know. I was just trying to
That
think.
movie
but
sucked.
There's still dusters in that one.
Well,
Goggles.
you're just really fucked. All right, fair enough. Whatever you want the dusters.
you couldn't live on a boat.
I could live on a boat. I just not one I'm looking for. No, like I don't want that one. I
No,
like
it's
your
like-
no electricity one. That's a good one.
You said you're not. Like The Rapture would be a pretty cool apocalypse scenario to look
Like
at.
the actual
Because it's just
apocalypse.
like
The sky opens up.
yeah, no, I mean, like play it out, right?
And we don't
So
get
no,
taken.
no, but that's just it, right? I mean, the Rapture happens. You either get taken, and it's all good, or we're still just left here, like.
Yeah, and then the podcast continues and nothing.
Yeah,
changes.
like I mean, we get less and less viewers every day, but I mean,
I think we'd get more.
and that's also like just to be clear, we all are under the assumption we are not being raptured.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get raptured. That's no way. You've
don't-
all heard this podcast. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's evidence.
We can be nice people, but we're probably not good people.
Oh, I see. I would have thought that maybe it's the other way around. Like we're good people, but maybe we're not the nicest people.
Okay. Either way, we're not getting into heaven.
That's fair.
Yeah, what's yours, Kyle?
Well, first I'd like to start with the one I definitely don't fucking want is the robot apocalypse.
Robots.
You don't want Terminator.
Well, actually, hold up with the robot apocalypse, because you were saying you wouldn't mind like a no electricity type one,
Yeah.
and basically the world would just get divided into.
Steampunk.
It would be like this coal powered fucking steam energy thing, where we're like living in the woods, and which like the anti-robot coalition, and you guys are out in the woods doing your thing, and I'm like wearing robot parts
Because you're a robot.
Because you really like the comic Descender?
Yeah, no, it's just like this is a good segue
I love
into
the
it.
robots, man. No, that's terrifying.
But we can take out the robots
Because they can just keep building
Man,
themselves.
EK, can you
And they
imagine?
they just ripping your skin off your shitty little bones.
No,
with
I mean-
fucking robot pincers.
But like you know the movie,
No way.
the Patriot.
Yeah, with
We'd be
Kevin
able-
Costner.
No, with Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson. No, Kevin Costner is the mailman.
The postman.
Postman. Thank you.
But we'd be Mel Gibson in the woods taking out robots, melting down shit into like.
You would not. You'd be the 1,000th skull they stepped on. It's like off your fucking new fucking ship, like just walking out Terminator style. No.
Well, what do you think you can handle?
What do you think I can handle? Yeah, like the fucking pony apocalypse.
What is the pony apocalypse?
That sounds terrifying. Remember, we talked about this in the last one. No
Horses.
one likes horses.
No, I'm afraid of horses. No, the one I can
Little
handle.
tiny ones that you could fit more.
I
of,
guess
remember?
just the nuclear apocalypse, and I either die quickly or end my own life soon after. Well, I don't have any reservations about living. I play a lot of video games where you're the one person left or one of the last people left, and I don't want to do that shit. No fucking way. No way. None of them are fun. They're all terrifying. Most people don't live happy lives.
The idea of that ending, though, of seeing a fucking wall coming at you, like in Terminator 2, of a bomb going off and ending everything, that would be fucked, because you do have a couple seconds to react. You know?
A couple seconds to just think about it.
And be this is it.
Yeah, I'm super dead.
That would be damn terrifying.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
But at least it's a few seconds of terrifying. Not the rest of your life going at any second a robot or a zombie or a fucking terrible monster is going to eat me.
Ooh, a good one. Planet of the Apes type scenario apocalypse. I mean, we lose.
I could befriend the apes.
Man, yeah,
I
I know.
take this. I'll take this one. Yeah.
Yeah, because we lose that battle. 9 times out of 10, we're fucking getting owned by the apes. If they're as smart as us, they're physically superior. We're fucked.
I love it.
Yeah, man. I would do circus tricks. Man, think about it. We got monkeys that just roller skate and smoke cigarettes and drink beer, and that's a novelty to them. It's like, dude,
it's a novelty to us too, Greg. You're doing that now. We can
and over here, it's just like us sitting in a room smoking cigarettes. They give us typewriters. Put out.
Tell you to write Shakespeare.
I'm just imagining it. Everything we're doing right now is just a joke in a monkey world. Just us drinking beer,
it's
smoking
a joke
cigarettes.
in our own world.
Yeah. It's good. Yeah, I'm voting for the Planet of the Apes.
I like that one.
Hail
You're right.
Caesar.
So, I was at the comic shop the other day, digging through back issues. Which they're actually starting to get quite a few of, but I never expect to find anything fucking good, right?
Yeah.
This is old, shitty X-Men's no one wants.
You found some good ones, though.
Yeah, I recently just found a magazine called Comic Art, issue 1, and it had a Seth cover. I was like, oh, I'll take that. And I looked it up on eBay, and there were 4 different copies going between $80 and $100.
And you got it for what?
10.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and it came with the original print in it.
So shout out. That's Cody. It's for sale. No.
Yeah. Send an email. Yeah, what'd you get this week for comics, Greg?
Yeah, we just went to the comic shop today. 2 new Star Wars books, Obi-Wan and Anakin, which is takes place before. It's like I think it's a 4 or 6 issue run, and it's taking place before the Clone Wars. So Obi-Wan's pretty young, and Anakin is
would that be like after episode 2?
No, oh, sorry, I don't know what I said. It's after episode 1, before episode 2.
Okay.
And then I picked up Canon, The Last Padawan. It's another Star Wars book. It's getting real good. Like, I'm fucking loving it.
You're just stacking those Star Wars books up.
Man, it's good.
It's going to take over all your collection.
Yeah, and like, just while we're on that topic, man, we just watched the trailer for the last episode of Star Wars Rebels. These guys aren't watching Rebels, but it's... I feel sad for people that don't get new Star Wars once a week. And I mean, between comics and Rebels, like, I jones that shit. Like, I need Star Wars on the regular. But anyway, Darth Maul is going to be in the new one. And I mean, I think you guys already knew I spoiled it, or it got spoiled. Darth Maul's alive. Let that sink in for a second.
Well, like, he's alive, but like, where in the timeline?
Okay, so that's what's awesome. So in Clone Wars, right, the TV show, they just throw it in there where after he died, someone collected his body and they managed to save him from death. And they give him robotic legs. And then Emperor Palpatine basically assembles his fucking Suicide Squad and gets Count Dooku, General Grievous, and now Darth Maul. And he's like, I got a mission for you guys, and sends them off. And then we don't know what happens. And then we know from that point then that Grievous and fucking Count Dooku are killed.
Yeah, this is
right?
crazy.
And now we don't know. But then what happened is that during this time, Dark Horse had all the rights to the Star Wars comics.
Yeah.
And then there was like this weird fucking changeover where Clone Wars was ending. And so they had all these episode scripts that they didn't know what to do with. And so they decided to make comic books out of them. They got to Dark Horse. Dark Horse was still putting out Star Wars comics. But then all of a sudden, Marvel and Disney got all the Star Wars. And so Dark Horse had to stop it. They'd already put out these Clone Wars episodes where it explains kind of what Darth Maul was doing. And they got kind of... I might be a little off on this, but it got stopped. But it's still canon. So like right now, Dark Horse the only Dark Horse comic that's canon right now is this one Clone Wars episode that got put out as comics. And it kind of talks about Darth Maul. But yeah, the new episode, Darth Maul's in it. I'm quite excited.
I know you definitely disagree with me on this, but I want to know what you think, Kyle. Like, so we have our core movies, right? The Star Wars.
Yeah.
They're
the
great.
Wars from the Stars.
They're great. We all love them. And then there are a million other things in between these. The video games, the comics, the TV shows. Are you a fan of, like, filling in every gap in these stories? Or... Because, like me, I like the mystery in between. I like my imagination
There's 30
fills in the
years in
gaps.
between each like, saga,
Yeah. I get
Yeah,
that.
but do those stories need to be told?
Oh, well, not to, like, make the movies any better. You know what I mean? You don't need to know as much as I know about Star Wars to enjoy the films. That's just... Those movies are independent on their own. You don't need to know anything else to watch those movies. But I just can't
it's
get
almost
enough.
to the point where I consider it fan fiction.
Well, a lot of it is now. Like, because...
Even though it's
when
canon.
When they got bought
with
by...
that said, though... Oh, sorry.
Sorry. When they got bought by Disney, like, all the previous shit that wasn't, Clone Wars and the prequels got wiped out, and now they're like tales of fiction within the Star Wars universe or whatever. And just whatever. But I've never been one to really love or consume all that. I play the games because I like playing games. And I liked the story in Force Unleashed.
Oh, that's
like a
one
cool,
of the best
like
games
kind of
ever.
the start of like
Well,
how the
even
rebellion
in
begins.
that, your character's name is
Starkiller.
and he helps spark the rebellion in that game.
Yeah.
So in like their own way, they're still playing with
They're playing with the movie
with
timeline.
those ideas, right?
But-
I mean,
But I do side Greg, sorry, but with Cody on that. I just watching all that other stuff. I just doesn't. I think it's the animation really for this, but like the stuff I just don't like it. It doesn't, and the stories are cool in that sense when like you want to know everything, yeah, you get that beats. Like Greg, obviously, you're the person that kind of likes to know every little bit of the story. Like that's on record in the podcast. You like knowing that. But I fucking would rather totally just watch the movies, just like the movies.
There's not enough movies though. But in the
There's
the
plenty
last
of movies.
episode was something that they kind of been touched on that I think is a way bigger idea in the Star Wars universe that is highly underplayed and not touched on. Speaking of a robot rebellion, is to what extent is AI in the Star Wars universe? Like, are there androids out there that, like Blade Runner, where like they don't know that they're people or that they're robots? You know, like seems like all the Jedis have these.
Why is that important?
So in the new episode of Rebels, they like this one droid Chopper, who's they keep saying is malfunctioned, who basically has free will, takes the restraining bolt off of another rogue droid, and then convinces it to have free will. Like the robot has an order, and he just talks the robot into breaking his order. And once he breaks the first order, it's now this robot has full free will.
I'm not saying that's not an interesting story, but I think that's an unnecessary Star Wars story.
No, but just what I'm saying is like,
I agree with
that's
you,
what I'm saying is you don't need to know these things. But I mean, I like this universe.
But yeah, I get that
so I mean, to
too.
me,
I
this is something I'm really
understand
into. And then you're talking about continuity. Is again with Rebels is you watch one episode of Rebels. It comes out on Wednesdays, and they talk about a war that happened during the Clone Wars. And then I pick up a comic, and that comic also came out on Wednesday, and it's it totally tied into that episode. And you don't need to read the comic. You didn't need to have watched the episode. To watch the episode, you didn't need to have read the comic.
I don't think Cody's like pointing out
nice.
that you don't need. Look, we know we don't need to watch it, but it's whether or not it's like worth watching or even I want to. I don't really want to know that much about the rest of the universe.
I'm like a little split because I'm not totally against creators explaining every single little thing. Like I love George R. R. Martin's Game of Thrones universe. And he's gone into crazy detail that isn't necessarily necessary. Same with J.R.R. Tolkien.
Yeah.
He went into crazy detail that's not necessary. But I find something about one person creating all that fascinating. Like
I
know what you're saying.
I think that it's also a lot more fun, and we've had a bunch of conversations sitting around here speculating. We were doing it right before we started this. We were speculating about how these certain things happened. Can be a lot of fun, not where you just necessarily want to pull it up and fucking have the answer right on your phone the second you want.
Yeah.
I feel like Star Wars definitely rides that, though, where they don't actually have answers to these questions, and it's guys like us arguing about it until enough people are arguing about it, and until enough people have decided that this is the answer, and then all of a sudden, that's the answer. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way to know these things, because a lot of it are just writing holes.
Well, yeah,
for
sure.
Such
Especially in the
information
original.
that no one ever thought was going to be so valid or important is now a pinnacle point in the universe. You know, like, it's something silly. Like the one we were talking about just now was it possible that Boba Fett killed like Uncle Owen, or was it Storm?
Yeah, and does that
And
even
it
matter?
adds
No, it
nothing.
doesn't matter.
It
I
adds
don't care,
nothing to
yeah.
the story.
Yeah.
But you know,
But you want to know.
I don't want to know now.
But I think all Cody was bringing up is that's something you want to do that not everybody really wants to do. And it's fine that you get to go out there and look for it.
Well, I think that you kind of have to pick and choose, too. Because if it's about being dedicated to a universe.
Yeah.
Well, we did talk about this.
Where
before.
when I watched Lost, if there was supplementary Lost stuff, I would have
Well,
totally...
there should have been fucking supplementary. There was no goddamn story that made any sense in that whole thing.
Hey, man.
All it was questions that there should have been 1,000 subplots.
And the fact that they didn't do that is why it still lingers in my mind, you know?
Yeah, because, I don't know how you don't pull your hair out when that lingers in your mind.
Yeah, man, I think it's so crazy that the amount of shit that I've gotten really into that is almost like, you know, I won't even bring it up sometimes. It's just like, if someone makes fun of me about it, it's like, oh yeah, you know, I think that's pretty cool. But then for you to just get right into Lost, and for me to not to, is really weird.
Yeah.
You'd go crazy with Lost. There'd be too many questions for you.
Oh,
You'd lose your mind.
I would sit here and just be quiet and watch he watched episodes, and like in my mind, like I want to ask questions, and I'd ask him the odd question, and then he would just be like, "No, this is, man, you're not gonna."
I wouldn't even bother explaining
there's-
things.
what are you going to explain? They're on an island. We don't know many answers. That's it. That's how it's going to end, too.
I started to get that too, where it was like, this seems related place. Was there a precursor? Nope. Nope, this is just how it's going.
Anyways, we're going to take the mid-episode break now. Everyone, stay tuned. We'll be right back.
He pulls me into this dark office alone. He lays me down, and he's like, take off your shirt. He was good. He was a professional. Jason's warm. He loops me out low, gets it done. And he's rubbing this thing all over. He's very gentle with me. I'm about to pass out. Dude's taking forever. And now I'm slightly out of breath. He squirts me down all over my belly. But he did say that I didn't have to put my shirt back on, which was weird.
Oh, yeah. They also talk about comics. Long Box Small Talk, weekly on bmoviesandebooks.com.
All right, we're back. So, we're all refreshed.
Yes, we are.
Crack beer.
So, I was at work the other day, bored as fuck. Just, doing what most North Americans do and take for granted how easy their jobs are. And I was thinking about how, like, if everyone's told, follow your dreams, do whatever you want to do, right? But would I actually be able to do it? Like, if I could just have my dream job, like, say, I could do whatever I wanted, would I be able to pull it off? Like, with the training and skills that I have right now. Because I was like, if I could do anything, what the fuck would I want to do?
So it's like, you're given all the money you need. What are you going to do to occupy your time?
Oh, no, you're giving any job that you want with your current skills. And because like, I would definitely want to get more into publishing, but like, I don't know if that's something I could just actually do.
Like, pull off?
Yeah, like, what would your dream job be?
Oh, fuck.
Other than professional podcasters making millions of dollars.
Yeah, there's probably none of those.
What do you mean? I was going to say, even $1 million?
I don't think there's a lot of people in this for a lot of money. But alright, do I get the skills that are required for the job, or I just have my skills now?
No, I'm saying you have your skills now.
And I take.
So what would be the best job that you think you could do?
I would take something, I guess, like if it was like, I think of playing video games, so I go like like a professional Let's Player. I'm not good enough to be a pro gamer, so like Let's Plays, I guess.
Yeah,
make enough money.
So like some YouTube channel.
Yeah.
The best video game one picked you up. You think you could do a damn good Let's Play?
Yeah. If I work for like Rooster Teeth or something like that, and I just do the others, yeah. I guess that'd be it.
That would be the dream job.
That's a good job. Yeah.
Play fucking video games and talk about
it.
Yeah,
it's exactly what we're doing now, except for with video games, and paid a bunch of money to do it. Or not a bunch of money, but at least enough money for those people to live. I don't need a lot of money.
What would be the best thing for you, Greg?
Prime Minister.
Yeah?
Yeah?
I don't think you're capable of doing it. No offense.
You went way more responsibility than I thought you were.
No, I feel like if I got like a good... You guys just totally talked yourself out of being on my council or whatever.
Or whatever. You already are in a lot of trouble there, Greg.
Okay, I feel like I need more than 2 of you, so I mean, the other 3 would be real capable.
What?
I assume there's 5 people.
There's 5 people on the Prime Minister's Council.
Well,
that famous... listeners might
we're gonna veto that answer because we're gonna say you're not capable of being Prime Minister. Yeah. So you're gonna have to lower it a bit. You just don't know. Yeah. Has there ever been a leader that didn't go to university? I highly doubt that.
I don't know. I'd have to look that up.
I really doubt that.
Hey, you don't even tell people I didn't go to university. I went to college.
He did go to college.
What else would you do? Like if Marvel, this is like, hey Greg, want to work on fucking Young Anakin #1 or something like that?
Fuck yeah.
You think you could write a Star Wars comic?
You take Prime Minister over head writer for new Star Wars comics?
Oh, well, I forgot about that one.
We started with, he went comic publishing, I went video games, you didn't go.
He goes
Prime Minister.
I was like thinking just like reading about Justin Trudeau, and all he seems to be doing is just smiling, wearing a suit.
Well, okay, you know what? On that aspect, you might be able to smile and wear a suit. Who knows? You could be a politician.
Yeah, if they just force feed.
There are politicians I think out there that
council.
are dumber than you. So that's totally... Well, they might have a little bit more experience at the job than you. But he might be able to lean into it. Sure, he doesn't know that he doesn't have a counsel.
I just went on record. Kyle and I, we're good friends. That's why we're good friends right there. The little pep talks like that. Like, if this podcast doesn't work out, I might run for, like, local council and work my way up or something.
There you go.
Local council.
A lot of councils there.
If you guys start hearing me plug in, like, my political campaign on the podcast, I'd follow suit, man. Apparently, a lot of Americans want to move to Canada anyway.
If you ran for office, this podcast would immediately determine you couldn't do it.
Well, I thought that it wasn't so much that people did all, like, you know when you hear about, like, politicians being like, oh, he got caught fucking getting head or smoking weed. It wasn't so much that they did those things, was that they didn't say that they did those things.
Now, you know what, I'm going to say something, though, that might work. If you chose the president of the United States, you got at least 4 years, probably. Even if you suck at the job before you lose that job. You and I might lose the Let's Play and Publisher pretty quickly. Who knows? I might hang on to that job.
I haven't thought of other ones like professional comic writer and all this bullshit, but I was like, I wouldn't be able to do it.
But no, comic book writer for sure, man. That one would be... Because, like, even... I was reading, like, the Iron Fist today, and... it seems like comics now, like, the fucking object that they were looking for was they stole, and I'm going to quote this, they stole the Super Soul Stone.
What?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That's
exactly.
Just like, I think that's what he's saying.
That's just like that was really part of the plot was that someone stole the Super Soul Stone, and I'm thinking to myself like,
That's a pro.
I could do better than that. You know, there was very little, unless that's the point, was I would have fucking needed an issue just to explain what the object was that they stole. And he would have needed
an animated series and 2 more comic series to explain it.
And a novella.
Yeah, and then like there still would have been an ending. He was just like, no man, Super Soul Stone. They stole it. You know, I don't know. I think I could do better than that.
See, it's tough to say like something like professional writer or anything because it's just like there's nothing really, I guess, holding you back.
Holding anyone back from being a professional writer.
Yeah, exactly.
We all have the tools.
Yeah, like you guys have written shit that's it's not like the content's bad or anything, but whether you can put that much content out to make a bunch of money, that's like you spitting out Stephen King level of fucking.
I feel like Stephen King is like the Nick Cage of books, and he just has like a new one out every day.
Well, yeah, that's pretty much it. But I mean, that's pretty much the most successful writer, though.
No, yeah, and that's how because they don't all have to be good books.
Like, but they have to be decent and well written and put out at a regular pace.
Yeah, I'm still reading his book of short stories right now, The Bizarre Bad Dreams. It's really cool because it goes through his entire career. He picks short stories. So there's ones that he's like, I wrote this when I was a teenager, and I just kind of like re-edited it. And yeah, it's a really cool glimpse into like his writing style. What's the last novels you guys read?
Last novel I read was The Martian.
Oh yeah, how was that?
I liked it a lot. I liked it a lot more than the movie for sure.
I didn't mind the movie.
the movie's not bad. It's just it doesn't really capture anything that's good about the book.
Oh yeah.
Colorado's answers are gonna be so stupid. You read what Christopher Nolan book?
No.
Who did fucking Martian?
I don't know.
That was that other movie. Yeah, no, my bad. But anyway, mine was the Star Wars book.
Oh, the last one you read?
Yeah, I read New Dawn.
Is that one of the new canon novels?
Yeah.
Yeah, how's that?
I thought it was great. Actually, it was weird. I was reading the new comic, and a character just walks in and says a bunch of shit, and I was just like, what?
I don't think there's anything wrong with those 2 books. No.
Oh, no. In my head, it was funnier. I was just a little fucking drunk.
Those are both like popular current books or whatever.
I don't know.
Like, other than the short stories.
I read that. I read, I don't know, a lot of Bukowski and Cormac McCarthy. That was a little while ago, but I finally read No Country for Old Men, and it blew my mind.
Oh, yeah? See, I read The Road not that long ago.
I haven't read that yet.
Yeah, actually, I think I told you I was going to lend it to you, and I haven't gotten around to doing it. I'm bad for that. I don't have very good memory. But yeah, I like Cormac McCarthy stuff. That's really good.
He has a really cool, like, rough style. It doesn't really hold back. It just tells you what's happening and doesn't really dance around anything.
It was interesting, like, when I talked about earlier about playing The Last of Us, and first time I played, I hadn't read The Road, and now playing it after reading The Road, because they're really, really similar stories. And it was just, it made, I don't know, I got a little bit more upset about it this time. The moments hit me more because it reminded me of the road. It's just, that's kind of silly, probably. But
yeah, I've been bad lately for wanting to buy novels like they're comic books. And like collect them. But I don't read fast enough, you know? Especially when I'm also reading comic books and
fair enough,
playing video games and listening to new albums. It's not enough hours in the day, man.
Yeah. That's actually, it's a good kind of thing to think about. Like, at this point in time, there's so much fucking media to consume between television.
That's great. I mean, to say that, oh no, I have too many books, movies, comics, and television episodes stacked up. It's like, oh, boo-hoo, I have too many friends to hang out with. I don't have enough time to watch all this awesome content that they're pumping out. Yeah, 2016 is really fucking awesome.
Yeah, but it's still something we have to deal with.
And I'm so bad, though, for having all these books that I really want to read, but then coming home from work and rewatching an episode of The Office.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
You know, just because it's easy to do.
Because you just don't have the energy to do something new.
Think.
Yeah.
I feel like this is like a problem that at least us Canadians definitely have, but our days are getting longer, and we just had a time change, so like we're gonna have more sun. And you know what? That just means that we don't go to bed as early.
I don't think that's just Canada. I'm pretty sure the States gets that too.
Well, it's not as severe, yeah. But yeah.
Fuck, man. Yeah, we will go from like darkness from like 8 o'clock in the morning to like 4 o'clock.
Well,
it's like sort of light.
Like 6
light.
hours a daylight.
Yeah, it's fucked. At least now, like it's what 7:30 and it's not dark out yet.
Yeah, but by the way, our igloo's really cozy up here.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Did anyone bring in Beeves?
Moser.
Beeves the beaver, still sitting
Beaves the
outside.
beaver. Oh yeah, our mascot. Yeah, he's around.
But no, it is rough. I tried to put on a new show last night because I'm not really watching any TV shows. So I put on episode 1 of Daredevil.
Oh yeah, like the first season.
Yeah, and I just couldn't get into it, man.
Yeah, that's fair. It's not. I don't.
Do
really
you guys agree that the first episode is good? Because
I think the second episode's where I got hooked.
Yeah, I was even saying this earlier. Like the first episode, if you weren't already excited to see a Daredevil show, I don't think that first episode is going to draw you in. It's kind of exhausting. But again, I've also seen that first episode like
saying exhausting
7 times.
though. That's the second episode. That's when it's good.
But yeah,
like,
but
once
you're in, like once you're involved, like it's like the first episode is. It gets you going. It get all the shit out of the way that you need, and then from then on, it really is great.
How are the new ones?
This season?
Man,
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I don't know. Punisher's in it. I love.
Man, I feel like we can do spoilers up until.
And I like the actor that plays him.
I
don't want to do too many spoilers because it'll ruin the.
What are you talking about?
I think everyone kind of knows that he's the Punisher.
I'm already
no, but I mean other than just like actually spoiling the episodes, but. I just like
I'm
that
down
dude.
with spoilers. I don't give a shit.
It's like, check out this interesting thing that I'm about to ruin for you.
But I don't know. It's good. Daredevil's great. I'm loving it. The one thing that I'm a little skeptical on, and I don't know if they're doing it deliberately, I've not done the season yet, is how Catholic Matt Murdock's coming off. And a really thing that bothered me was a line that he says where only God and a jury of
or occasionally a jury can
decide who lives and dies.
Yeah.
So
and I mean,
he's a religious character?
Oh, Matt Murdock is.
yeah,
that's part of the.
I guess he does start by confessing. That's the first scene in the show.
And well, in season 1, the huge thing was the Kingpin was convinced that he was the hero, and he becomes the villain. And Matt Murdock was struggling with whether or not he was actually the villain. You know, and in the final episode, they're like, "I'm the hero, he's the villain."
I was just saying, lean forward.
You know, and then season 2 is Matt has basically been like, "No, I'm doing God's work," and there's a lot of Civil War pretenses. You know, I'd like a division, just how much carnage a hero is allowed to deliver, how much responsibility a hero has to take, and like for some reason Matt, like we talk like we're friends, but fucking Daredevil, if he puts you in the hospital or makes it so you'll lose a limb or never walk again, he feels completely justified. But Punisher kills somebody and Matt's like, no, God or jury are the only people that are allowed to decide that. And also, I'm going to make sure that God or a jury of 12 men decides whether or not you're going to be put down. But anything up until that point is cool. I'm allowed to do whatever I want. It's weird. I had mixed feelings because Matt Murdock is still a great fucking character, but one of the things. I don't know what's the actor's name that plays the Punisher. John. I don't know how to say his last name.
Yeah, me either. John Barenthal, or I'm thinking of Jay Barenthal.
Yeah, see, that's what I was always thinking. We're looking it up right now, but he has said a quote that the idea, like, he wanted people to be excited about the idea of the Punisher and in love with the guns and the violence, but that by the end of the show, to almost be sick of guns and violence.
Well, that's the only way they can justify him as an anti-hero,
you know, where it's like, even he goes too far, and the other morning, it might have even been yesterday morning, but anyway, it's often I wake up to go to work, and Cody's asleep on the couch, and so we do like a change.
Yeah, it's like
he warms the couch for me, and he gets up and goes to bed, and I sit down. But I threw on an episode of The Punisher, and I feel like it was one that Kyle just watched, so I won't do too much spoilers, but
Bernthal.
Punisher, what is it? John?
Bernthal? B-E...
I just keep telling everyone Shane.
H-A-L? Bernthal?
Bernthal.
The guy from The Walking Dead.
But the Punisher gets his own hallway scene, which this new season is just full of hallway scenes. But the Punisher does his hallway scene, and you had just gone to bed, and I'm sitting here watching it, and I'm just like, oh fuck, oh, and I'm being really loud, and then I turn the volume down as if it was going to make me quieter, and it's not. I'm just even louder, and I'm trying to be quiet, and it's fucked.
Yeah, it's really it is graphic,
and when I was younger, it's like, I'm not old, but fuck, when you're a kid, you're just like, oh, fucking blood and guts and gore, and I know it's fake, it's a movie, and I still like all that shit, but now I'm like, oh fuck, man, it's a bit much.
that would hurt.
It's not even that it would hurt. It's like, because you're not thinking yourself like, oh, I feel that fucking axe in the back of my head. You're thinking, why is my stomach upset?
Do you mind gore in horror movies? I'm not a fan of it.
Wait, well, do I like gore movies? Like, where it's, like, hostile? Like,
no, not that bad. I feel like a lot of the times they'll just use blood and guts instead of good writing.
Like 127 hours?
Well, I don't like those kind of things. That's not really what I guess he was probably meaning, but...
What's 127 hours?
James Franco cuts off his own arm.
Oh. No, that's different.
No.
That was a good movie.
That was a good movie.
I like that movie, yeah. But
typically, gore's not for me.
I don't like those gore porn kind of, like, hostile...
I think it's just a cheap way of fucking entertaining people.
Yeah, I get it, though, because, like, it's a horror movie where a lot of them are cheap either way. It's like a cheap jump scare or a cheap gore. Like, oh, there's so much blood and it makes me feel sick, and that's shocking. But all those... But, I'm not a big fan of anything horror, really.
No,
like,
man, I know, like, Cody and I both are a big fan of the Blair Witch Project.
Oh,
and I want to say, like, the last time... Like, I've seen the movie a bunch of times, but the last time I was genuinely scared was, like, Cody and I watched that movie, and it was, like, pitch black. And there's not even any gore in that movie, and I was scared. And it's like, it's fake. And you're even pointing out all the scenes, you're like, oh, you can see traffic in the background, or, like, there's a fucking power line. You're just like, they're not that far in the fucking... Right behind them is probably the highway, like, they're just in some farmer's field.
Yeah.
And then, but the ending of that movie is terrifying when they've got the two cameras.
The sound division?
Yeah, and it's the audio from one camera's working.
The end of that movie is fucking terrifying.
And it's terrifying. And there's no gore
it's
in
probably
that.
my favorite horror movie.
There's no blood or anything.
Really? Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Is that the one that scared you the most?
Well, I think we talked about what our scariest, like, because everyone's like The Exorcist and shit like that. But, I mean, what's your... Yeah, like, we love the Blair Witch Project.
I didn't watch that for years after it came out, but I remember when it came out, I thought it was real.
Yeah,
and I just went around believing this myth that there's this crazy fucking movie that my parents won't let me watch.
That's real.
That's this real proof of fucking
that was when
paranormal.
found footage was still, like, had that mystery to it.
Oh, that was brilliant.
I've been so distrusting my whole life. I was just like... I always would argue, be like, if they said it was a true story, all that meant was that the person who made that movie believed it was a true story.
Honestly, I think that, as a kid, I remember that coming out, and I think it only came out for the average person knowing it wasn't real was when, like, I think the main actress was on Letterman.
Yeah, something like that happened because when they put it out, they told people that it was real.
Yeah.
And the actor signed some kind of agreement that they couldn't do any appearances or anything for a few weeks. And I think that might be right. The first time they came out was like on a talk show. But yeah, the idea of like going that into depth with a mockumentary, and mockumentaries are probably my favorite kind of movies.
Oh fuck yeah!
like that found footage, like Cloverfield kind of thing.
That or like Spinal Tap, just like
an
or
actual
like The Office. I consider that a mockumentary. You know.
Well, it is. Yeah, it's filmed like that. Yeah. But what? So Blair Witch Project for you scared the crap out of you as a kid.
Yeah.
Greg, for you, what was the scary movie that?
Blair Witch for sure, but my most terrifying thing, and again, crowds being touched, was The Mist. That movie scares the shit out of me every time I watch it.
They're making a show out of that, aren't they?
Yeah, the reason why I think I was so scared of that movie is because it all happened so fast.
Yeah. It's like quickly they turn on each other.
You know, and I mean, for that to be long and drawn out, I think you'd get bored of it.
Well, based off
there's
a
an
short
apocalypse
story.
I don't want.
Yeah, exactly.
I read the short story years before the movie came out. I was really young. I
And
literally read it over a campfire. Someone read it in front of me as a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
like,
that
doesn't happen these days.
No, yeah.
That's how long it takes. Like, if we were convinced that we were done for, and for some reason you had the proof in front of you, or at least you thought you had the proof in front of you.
That's how quickly people.
That's how quickly it takes, right? I mean, the loss of hope is all it takes. It's like, no, we're fucked. And that's it. And then the idea of the entire, my scariest scene is, speaking of the Force Unleashed, it's in the movie anyway, is like what I'm referring to, is the guy, I gotta think though, but the guy that does the voice for Starkiller in the Force Unleashed is the soldier in The Mist. And when they all established in The Mist that all the monsters are coming from portals to another dimension, the military opened, and then these 3 or 4 fucking privates are in there, the guy's there to say goodbye to his girlfriend. And they're even helping people earlier, and all of a sudden the crowd just turns on them and you did this. This is all your fault. And then the butcher with his white fucking apron, he's got his knife and comes up and he just starts stabbing the guy in the stomach and he's laughing. And that's what's scary to me, man, is just people you can see their faces and they're just blaming me.
Not having a fair fight.
Being
that's
it's
scary.
the struggle, man. Being trapped. I'm getting a little fucking uncomfortable thinking about it.
I get that.
You too,
you feel like you could probably take 1 or 2 people, but not a group of people like that, and that aren't monsters or anything. They're just regular people.
They'll hold you down.
You want to tell them you're not at fault, but they can't.
Oh yeah, that's okay. A monster's coming with you. You don't expect to reason with that.
Yeah.
But when there's a crowd of people, and you cannot reason with them, that's terrifying. Are you crazy? Why is it I can't, these people want, that's a fear. No, fuck that, man. The fear in that guy's face, it's he didn't do anything wrong.
I was always afraid of a much less rational fear. And my movie was The Ring.
Oh, that was a creepy movie for a kid,
I was afraid of static televisions for a long time.
I knew about the Asian version of that.
Ringu?
And I was always really
is that
confused.
I think of The Grudge as what's the...
The Grudge was they were both based off of
Asian one,
That's with Sarah Michelle. Which one has Sarah Michelle got in?
The Grudge. The babysitter one, yeah.
Yeah, I remember watching that with a friend of ours when I was younger. And just being I didn't want to watch it. And he was like, "No, you gotta watch it. It's good." It haunted me. I went home and I just couldn't fucking sleep. I remember biking, on a bicycle, bike home, and looking in people's windows and seeing one static television and going, "It's happening. It's fucking happening." She's already on me on this bike ride home. And it probably, looking back at it probably wasn't a fucking static television. It was probably I just saw a glimpse of a television. As you're biking home.
It wasn't even that long ago that when you turned the TV off, it went staticky and then black to a little white dot or something.
Yeah, you could have caught it in any sort of situation where it's late night.
Or your VCR fucking stopped playing the tape and it was just static for
That's the thing that kids won't understand. The TV used to end.
Yeah.
That's just what you'd wake up in the middle of the night.
High pitched noise. Yeah.
The closest thing that's relatable now is when my computer's just oh snap, something went wrong, or hold on a sec, I'm working on it. Can you imagine watching TV back in the day?
Oh, it's over. I reached the end of
yeah,
television.
the channel has ended. Like, broadcasting won't or resume until fucking 6 a.m. or
People
something.
think
They
that-
don't even just put reruns on. And
No, it wasn't. Yeah, there wasn't even
Bomb
reruns.
drops.
It was just like
people would freak the fuck out.
like flipping through the channels at like 2 a.m. and it would be like white screen, red. Next channel, and just be nothing on TV.
I still get freaked out when they throw up the fucking storm warnings here.
Well, yeah, I actually saw an Amber Alert for a kid went missing.
Yeah.
Take over all the TVs in the restaurant the other day. It was trippy as fuck. I didn't know what was happening. And, like, I don't know how they do that because they were all on different channels.
Sorry, it does it to my phone, too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like that, when I remember when
Well,
it
it's
happened,
probably
with
a
the
good
stolen
thing,
car
you know?
and the kid in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, my phone, like, boop, and I, like, pull it up, Amber Alert. It is a good thing.
No.
Is that okay, Google?
No, it was just phones. Your phone probably did, too, and you didn't notice.
I didn't get a notification.
If you'd opened up anything at that point, it would have immediately first hit you with the Amber Alert. But yeah, anyway, the ring scared the absolute fuck out of me. The twitchy fingers in the box and the whole watch.
Yeah, the way they edited the fake video or whatever.
And another one that scared me was the first Saw movie. And this one is a little more
I didn't find that
inexcusable.
scary.
I watched it, I was old enough then, I was like probably like 12 or 13. I know movies are movies, you know? Where you shouldn't be that scared. I watched that movie, and I watched it with my mom, and I remember like, oh, it's done. No, that was good. At the time, watched it with straight face, no problem, didn't get scared or whatever. And I was sitting like trying to fall asleep in our living room, like just on the couch. I don't know why it's on the couch, but and eventually I was like, I can't fucking fall asleep. This is good. This shit at me. I had to like wake my mom up like a little fucking bitch. Be like, Mom, I'm scared. I'm scared of this movie. And I was too old to be like, you can't go to bed with your mom. That kind of thing. She just had to like talk to me and go like, listen, you're just being a bitch. Like, go to bed. It's like, you're an adult now.
Yeah. To be honest, like, I would always watch movies, but I was never scared after of, like, a character from the movie or something. It would just get my mind fucking racing for the worst case scenario of everything that would happen.
Yeah.
I'd be lying in bed, I'd hear, down the hall, I'd be like, oh, someone just broke in, and they're coming up the stairs right now with a knife, and they're gonna cut my fucking head off, unless I like perfectly still in my bed.
That's to put the covers over my head, and I'm invisible.
Yeah, don't have my toes poking out of the bottom.
Yeah.
I had like the way worse fears growing up, man. Like ignorance. I was never important enough for anybody to break in or care that I was alive. God was gonna get me.
That's the more
terrifying
story.
Terrified of death. Just dying in my sleep and
So
going
you
to
had
hell.
Catholic fear.
Oh, strong Catholic. Like, I could not sleep in some nights because it was just like, I don't know that I'm a good enough person to go to sleep. If I die right now, I'm going straight to hell. And they would make us watch videos and be like, just so you know, this is what hell looks like. And it was just like people burning alive.
They did that in your school? What?
Yeah, man.
What the fuck?
I don't know that we were
This
allowed,
happened
like,
to you?
No,
You went to Catholic school.
I watched like VeggieTales and shit like that.
There was like probably
a much more happy
Yeah,
Catholic.
no, fuck that shit. Final Destination, though, scared me.
Public school, they'll just play fucking Blair Witch Project. And that's not a joke. I watched that shit in public school.
We had to get permission
Seriously?
notes.
Yeah, it was grade 8, and they put it on. Fucking.
No, permission notes to watch Harry Potter.
That's no. See, you're Catholic. You're wimps. Public school to play Blair Witch, no problem.
Man, I remember like first time I watched Final Destination, like the movie ended. I just like sat on the couch. And I was afraid to get up.
Set off a chain reaction.
yeah, it's like every decision you make from now on has to be like a game of chess, but for your life.
Now I'm thinking, my school, I just remembering, played a bunch of fucked up movies for us in public school. I watched The Good Son. Remember that movie? That's with like
Elijah Wood versus Macaulay Culkin.
Exactly, that one.
No, I never saw that.
That sounds like a podcast title. But yeah. Alright, fairly fucked up movie. Like, there's some graphic scenes in that shit. I watched that really young, in school. It was like one of the days where the buses aren't running, so there's no one really in the school.
Yeah.
And they play it, and one of the other kids in his class was like, oh, we got like this Macaulay Culkin movie. Had it in his backpack or whatever, played it. We were super young.
Walking around
like,
the
they're
good side.
swearing and stuff in that. Like,
Why?
and I was really young. like really.
I remember in grade 7, the teacher put on Vacation, the first one. There's tits in that movie. And it just came up and like I could see all the regret in her face. She was like, fuck, I forgot about that scene. She's like, just be mature about it.
Yeah. Canadian public schools there for you. It's just whatever. I'm barely being paid.
I watched Saving Private Ryan in class.
I remember doing that,
That's
but that was
gory.
like an educational thing. It was like,
Yeah.
I remember when they played Saving Private Ryan on broadcast television here in Canada, and that was a big deal.
Yeah.
Because it was unedited, and it was obviously like a very graphic movie, but it was just important enough that they felt like they could broadcast it. And that was
Isn't
fun.
that like one of the best lines in that movie? It's like Matt Damon talking to the camera. I'm thinking of the right movie, right?
I don't remember Matt Damon talking to the
No,
camera.
it's Saving Private Ryan. Aren't they? He's not talking to the camera, I guess.
Like breaking fourth wall,
Yeah, he's
like
not doing that.
this scene.
Matt Damon's in that movie,
That
right?
fooled it.
They're
Yeah,
trying to
Matt
rescue-
Damon
they're trying to
is.
rescue him.
Spoilers.
Yeah,
he
he's
is
Ryan.
Private Ryan.
Yeah, no. Okay, you just threw me off. You're like, what would you tell? Okay, anyway, your comment threw me off.
Sorry.
He's like talking about like the girls back home, and he's just like, oh yeah, he's talking about one of his brothers and like dating this chick, and he's like, she fucking took a dive into the ugly tree and hit every branch on the way down. And I just remember as a kid thinking like, man, that's like some good banter. You know, and now Matt Damon is no Ben Affleck.
I don't know.
And you're right.
Whatever that means.
You're right.
I like Ben Affleck more than I like Matt Damon.
Agreed.
That's
I don't care for either.
fine. You can. That's an acceptable answer.
Yeah. No, I'll take that as a no contest. Your vote doesn't count. Yes. Oh.
Well, I think it's been a good episode.
Do you really? Do you ever think it's a good episode?
I think it's a fun time.
You think we've talked for an hour? So,
Well, yeah, I don't know. One last, I guess, before we fucking roll out is like Dawn of Justice is finally out.
Yeah, so you're gonna go see it?
So I was gonna say like, fucking critics' reviews are pretty bad, but fan base reviews are pretty high.
really, I think it might be the opposite. I've seen a lot of hate for the people that aren't big fans.
I guess hopefully by
Time
the next
will
podcast we'll have seen it. At least Kyle and I will have seen it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. But
Cody's gonna hate it no matter what.
that's true.
He hates America.
I'm gonna
truth,
go in
and
with
justice.
a really low expectation. So
I'll
might
buy
enjoy
it. I'll pay for you guys tickets if I like it.
Yeah, that's not a bet I'm
You know what?
even going to bother taking. Anyway, this was episode 9 of 2 versus 3. Thank you very much for listening. We're available on bmoviesandebooks.com as well as YouTube. Like us on facebook.com/2 versus 3 and follow us on Twitter @2 versus 3.
Yeah, you can look us up on iTunes. Download our episodes through there for when you're on the go.
Yeah, and any other podcast services other than iTunes, we're all available there too. So this was episode 9. Next
Yeah.
week we'll have complaints about Batman versus Superman. So thanks for listening. Have a good night.